it's your guild chicken here to show you how to play Druid in 15 minutes or less. Now, this is for World versus World, so if you're looking for another gameplay, sorry, I can't help with that. Alright, so, going through this as quickly as I can. So, if you need to slow down the play speed of the video, go right ahead. Alright, but the gear you want is Minstrel stats, so make sure you have Minstrel stats for optimal support. If you have Ascended or above, you want those Healing World versus World infusions, which you can now get from the vendor for the Emblem of the Avenger. Very nice change there. For your rune, you want Superior Rune of the Monk for healing and boon duration. Alright, so for your weapons, you're going to want Sigil of Concentration and Sigil of Transference on your staff. And then some people have another staff with these same sigils, but I like to do Sword Warhorn for some variety, and also it helps with certain other things that I'll get into when I talk about weapon skills. Alright, so if you decide to do that, you'll do Sword Warhorn with Sigil of Concentration for more wound duration, and Sigil of Life so that you can stack that up and get even more healing. Alright, make sure you put this on your water weapons as well, because if you go into the water, you will lose those stacks, unfortunately. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Alright, so you're going to want the Siege Turtle and the Brown Bear as your pets. The Siege Turtle offers a wonderful barrier here, so it's a nice little bubble. It's kind of short-lived, but whatever. It's protection. And then the bear offers healing and Condi Cleanse. So, right, Druids have three main functions: heals, cleanses, boons. Alright, so they are an ultimate support. Maybe not the ultimate support, because they're not broken like Bindi, but whatever. Alright, so what do you want on your build? So you want these three specs. So you want Skirmishing, Nature Magic, and of course Druid. Alright, so in Skirmishing, most of these skills are just going to improve your damage in the context of the party, but also your first major trait here is going to improve the power of your healing skill, Healing Spring. This is actually the only trap you have, but hey, it's your heal skill. Kind of a big deal. Does a hell of a lot of healing and regen, and it's a combo field. Lots to love about Healing Spring. Alright, so for your second major, then you have, are going to pick Spotter because it gives the boon of Fury to your allies on a 10-second interval, so as long as you're in combat, you don't have to do shit. Alright, and then the last one, Quick Draw for getting weapon swap, recharge on your weapons. That's always helpful. The other ones, Anyway, next line, Nature Magic. So the first one you're going to want is Instinctive Reaction. You gain quickness when struck below the threshold, and then you and your pet gain healing based on power. Any boost to healing you can get, take it. Alright, and if you hit the oh shit threshold of 50%, yeah, you get those extra boosts that'll hopefully save your ass. If not, well, nice try. Alright, in the next line, you're going to want to take Windborne Notes. That's why I am using the Warhorn. Some people might use, like I said, Staff, so if you go that route, you're probably going to want to choose Spirited Arrival, because this isn't going to do shit without a Warhorn. So the Warhorn skills will grant regen and healing, so that's, again, yet another function for you to use. So your Warhorn skills, this one needs to be targeted. It has to target a foe. This one you're going to probably want to use when you are doing a push, because when your commander calls for fire fields and blasts, this is a blast skill, and then you get those nice boons as well. Alright, so a lot of utility there on that skill. Alright, your last trait is Invigorating Bond, where beast abilities heal allies around the caster. Now, your bear already does heal, so that's just going to boost it. So this also becomes a healing barrier. So nice little healing bubble. Alright, so the Druid line, the most important. So you're going to take Druidic Clarity, because anytime you become a Celestial Avatar or CA, it'll remove conditions from you and nearby allies. Cleanses. The next one you're going to take is Verdant Etching. So all of your glyphs, which is the entire right side of your bar except for your healing skill, those glyphs are going to grant protection. Right? So again, a boon to help mitigate any damage in the first place, and then you can heal the rest. Alright, and then the last trait is Lingering Light. So while in CA form, your healing is significantly increased. That's where you're going to be spending most of your time anyway, as long as you have it up. A lesser bonus to outgoing healing lingers for a duration after exiting Celestial Avatar. So when you come out of it, which is inevitable, you're still going to have a nice little boost. So if it didn't do the trick during the fight, if the fight's still going on, you still have a little bit of a buffer there on your healing ability. So it's nice to have. Alright, so those are your trait lines. Let's talk weapon skills. Alright, so on the left side of your bar are your weapon skills. If you don't already know that, I'd hope you know that already if you're watching this video. So Sword Warhorn is where you're going to start out at the beginning of a fight. So usually what I like to do is, like I said, the commander calls for fire fields. We're going to generate might, so this already does, but you can blast those fire fields for an additional boost to might to the party. So hopefully with everybody else's, you'll get like max stacks. Alright, so the next thing I like to do when we are pushing into an enemy group, so first of all, if we're not pushing into an enemy group and we're doing a ranged attack, you're going to want to switch to staff anyway, and pop your turtle barrier. So that will be a nice protection while you wait to see if your commander's going to push or if they're going to push, you know, the waiting game. Alright, so if you're not playing a waiting game and you are going right into the fray, you are going to want to go to your staff 5 to staff 3 for a burst combo there, area healing. So as you're going into the fight, the enemies are throwing down their damage and you're going to heal it right back up. So this also provides regen. It is a water field, so that's why it blasted into healing. So just keep in mind. It also protects your pet as you're running in, so you can pop your bear skill now and grant some cleanses, so any CCs that your enemy team's trying to do, you can mitigate those. So again, that's skill 5 into skill 3, and also remember skill 3 launches you in, I don't know what the hell happened there, so you're now going to be in the fray of the battle, so you're going to want to go into Celestial Avatar. Alright, so here you're going to want to use skill 3, skill 2 for another blast combo, area condi cleanse. You're going to want to use skill 9, your Glyph of Unity, to tether yourself to allies. You're going to want to use Glyph of Equality to stun break if you need it. Alright, and see how quickly that avatar runs out. So you got to be fast on popping the skills. Honestly, you can't really go wrong on what skills you use, except for maybe skill 5 in avatar form, because that one, it grants yourself stability, and it does some, I think, healing, but it's not usually worth it, because it makes you stand still, or you end the cast, which is useless. Alright, so in order to get Celestial Avatar, you need to generate the energy to fill the bar, which you do by healing. Oh, that's your job. Okay, so you should literally get the bar filled back up by doing what you're supposed to be doing. Alright, so skill 4 is a good one to use while you're going into a fight as well, or when you're leaving, or both. So it puts down this line of vines. So whoever's on that line, hopefully it's your allies, but if there's enemies, it's going to do something to them too. So your allies, it will clear conditions from them, and again, cleanses. For the enemies, it'll immobilize them, but they may or may not have stab, so, I mean, it damages them, so hey. Alright, so your 1 and 2 skills are good for targeted healing, so remember to use your squad panel not in grid form so you can see your party layout, and you are going to click on anybody you see whose health is really low, and you're going to want to use your 1 and 2 skills on them. So skill 1 is your we call it the submarine skill because that's what it sounds like. So it's just an endless beam of healing. So it's not a whole lot, but it'll do the trick. Astral Wisp is a bit better because it heals the target and anybody nearby. So it creates this little whoosh around it. So yeah, there you go. Voila. Alright, so going back, that's your staff skills. Your weapon skills you're going to be careful with if you are in... If, let's say, everything's on cooldown, this might be a good time to use your sword skills to either get in or get out, depending on what the situation is. So, your 2 skill on sword, there's a 2-part to it. One of them is a forward yeet, and then a kind of sideways yeet to get to a vulnerable spot on the enemy. And then the 3 skill is a backwards yeet. Alright, so that way you can do some evasion without having to use your endurance bar, but, you know, you're going to want to use your dodges when you need to as well. Even though you're not a Vindy, it's still might prevent you from dying. Alright, so skill 5 on Warhorn, skill 5 and 3 on Staff as you're pushing, skill 4 if you feel like you need it. Go into Celestial Avatar, you might want to pop a healing, your skill 6. Alright, so skills 9, skill 7 gives protection and removes conditions. Now, your elite skill is extremely valuable in CA. If you start seeing a bunch of your people go down, you're going to want to cast that ASAP. It takes a little bit to cast. It takes a few seconds, it feels like, even though it only says 1. It will start reviving people in that circle. Now, as long as the enemy is not doing one of their holy shit, I'm going to annihilate everything in the area bombs, then your party members have a chance of getting back up. It's also useful outside of CA because it gives stability, protection, and healing. But it does that outside of it too, I believe. Or in it, I believe. This one's not very useful outside of CA because it's just you take damage, your enemies tethered to you take damage instead of your allies being tethered and healing. So remember, you're not a damaged class. Glyph of Equality is a daze skill, and it also self-breaks stun in the regular form. In CA, it's group stun break, which is, again, helpful for getting the hell out of there. So, I mean, this might be useful if you have no other options. This is another one of those where it might be useful if you don't really have any other options, but it also is a CC if you need that, so it does give some conditions to your foes, and it does give protection to allies because of that wonderful trait line we took. Alright, so that should pretty much go through everything you need to know about Druid. So again, your focus is heals, cleanses, and boons. Alright, so skill 5 on Warhorn, bunker if you need to before you push. Alright, if you push, use skill 5 into skill 3, try to stay right behind tag, if not on tag, don't go in front of tag. Skill 4 if needed. Alright, skill 6, and then you can go into CA. Skill 3, skill 2 in CA to get that Condi Cleanse. Skill 4 is a heal, I didn't mention that before, but it's another combo field of water. Skill 9. Alright, skill 8, if you are on your way out, another combo 3 and 2, so notice I'm already out, and then I can use this on the way out too, to make sure that my allies can get the hell out, and that I get the hell out. Alright, and then, voila, we have another barrier ready. Now, you're going to want to wait until your skill has gone off before you switch pets again. So sometimes, depending on what you use, the cooldown can be a little bit ridiculous on the pet swap, let alone the skill. So just be mindful of that. Alright, and this is the shortest I've gotten this explanation done, so it probably means I missed something. But hopefully that at least gives you a little bit of a primer to how to use Druid in World vs. World. So, yeah, if you have any questions, you can always ask me in Discord or in game. This is the main class I play, so I don't really know how to play much else. I mean, I kind of do, but whatever. This is my forte. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.